May 14th meeting of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks is now in session. We'll have a quorum call. Mr. Ortega.
Present.
Mr. Tremblay.
Present.
Mr. Gay.
Here, sir.
Ms. Ball. Absent. Her daughter's graduating from college. And Mr. Tomasini.
Here.
We have 4 members present, 1 absent. Ms. Ball is absent from this meeting. Okay. I want to, at this time, move. This is so dim right here. I have a hard time reading it. My eyeballs are great.
That one's a little darker.
Okay.
Well, you're not good.
I want to move item number 3 to the end of the session this evening. Is there any objection to that?
Is she still going to be able to help us out?
Yes, I can. I think we can do that. For all those who don't know, seated at the table next to Mr. Tomasini is Ms. Cassandra Ortiz, who is going to be our new city attorney, and her partner, Ms. Leslie Cassan. So at the end of the meeting, we will have a session where we will make it official. At that point, if there's any objections to Ms. Ortiz and Ms. Cassan sitting at the table here, please express your objections now, or we will just leave them sit there as a part of the evening presentation. Are there any objections to him sitting here?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to have the attorney sworn in and the contract signed before we move on to item.
Okay.
Item 5.
And the reason I say that is I'm waiting for the, there's a special paper that it's a statement that they sign.
I understand.
Okay.
But prior to moving on to item 5 will need to be brought up after the attorneys are sworn in.
Where is that?
Okay.
Is it just at your house?
Yeah.
Why don't we just recess for a few minutes? And you go
Okay.
Do we need the contract? Is that what you missed?
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for? Oh, if you're looking
No,
for
this
No, it's a swearing-in statement,
This is
isn't
the,
it?
it's a
Yeah.
swearing-in statement that's important that
Why don't we just-
I have coming.
What do we do?
And at this time, if I will turn the meeting over to the Mayor Pro Tem for item 3. I mean, yeah.
No, you've already done that.
We're going to go into recess. I will be back in just a couple of minutes, and I dearly apologize to everybody that's here. And I know it's 6:50, and this session of the City Council is back in session. We will finish. We're going to do item number 2 on the agenda, an invocation and pledge to allegiance to the flag. If you would, please. Our God, our Father, we thank Thee again for allowing us to come here and do the work of the business of the people of the city. Be with us that we may show due diligence and get those things done that will make us a strong entity. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I ran out is I didn't grab the whole pile. I was thinking about moving this to the end, and Mr. Tremblay interjected, which was good that he did, that we can get this done. There are a couple of items that must be taken care of. Beforehand, there's a swearing-in process, the oath of office, but there's also required a statement of, I can't even read it. A statement of appointed officer. You're going to have to bear with me, folks. My eyes aren't the best in the world, so. And if I would, also allow me to interject that Ms. Ortiz had requested that her partner, Ms. Kassan, will, in her stead, if she has court appearances or things that keep her from being here, that we will have legal representation, and that she wants to, that would mean that we also have to swear her partner, okay, Ms. Kassan.
Mayor, she could be sworn in at a later time, if that's, or a later date. If
Okay,
she was
we can do it at a later date if you want to do that then. Okay. Okay, this is a statement of appointed officer. Repeat your name. I
Cassandra Ortiz.
do,
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to motion if we accept the contract before we swear in the attorney.
You think?
We,
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to discuss-
Well, I did hand it out. Well, okay, I did hand it out to everybody.
Yeah, that would-
And
There's also the issue of an ordinance establishing, would that have to be done
We can do
first?
that once she's sworn.
Okay.
Once she's sworn in, okay.
Okay,
I
well.
think we should review your contract.
well, this is our first time for that, and I hope we're not.
As long as she doesn't think we're
Yeah.
too disarrayed.
No, I wasn't sure if y'all had given authority to the mayor or somebody else to negotiate the contract, but if that wasn't,
We
if that's
haven't
not the case,
discussed
then
it.
the council would consider it.
What's that?
Well, I had a copy of that contract here.
Here, I have a copy if you need an extra copy.
Thank you.
And there was a couple of items that Ms. Ortiz had highlighted. And I said, everybody, look at the yellow. I don't know if it came up yellow.
It didn't, my only concern on the whole contract itself is which option we're choosing as far as your fee. And we should discuss that, Mr. Mayor. Have you made a decision on how we're to be billed? Or which option we're choosing?
No, I had not, but we can do that, sure.
I've read it. I think Joel's read it. I think a few of us have read it. I myself would prefer option 2 to be billed on an hourly basis rather than a monthly flat fee.
Okay. What, Mr. Tremblay, do you mind if I, so that the
No,
citizens
no.
understand
Mhm.
the hourly fee, as pointed out in the the part that Cassan and Ortiz, what Ms. Ortiz presented to us so that we could vote on her, indicated a $150 and $175 general representation. Hourly rate is $150, and but also there was a statement put in the contract that it would be on a $3,000 a month retainer. Is that the one you're talking about, Mr. Tremblay?
Yes.
Okay. And you were recommending, I recommend we go with the hourly rate. Is that it?
Is that part of the plan that you had put it, it's an either option one or option two?
In our application, we just had option 2, which was the hourly rate.
Okay.
Before y'all discussed the application or the hiring of the city attorney, I was asked to provide a monthly retainer rate, and so that was why I gave you option 1 as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like the retainer rate. Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah. Did you make that in form of the motion?
I was going to, the mayor had read what
Yes.
he had made.
Yes. That was one of the reasons I asked everybody to read the yellow part.
Well, I would make a motion that we accept the contract,
Okay,
accepting option 2 as the basis for fees.
I'll second that.
Okay. Mr. Tremblay has made a motion that we recommend that we do part option 2, which would be the hourly rate.
Would you do Ms. Rob a favor and repeat that, because I did not turn on her recorder. I know it's on now.
What's on now?
Yeah, just
Yes,
say-
okay.
Repeat the
Mr.
motion.
Tremblay has made a motion that we do the hourly rate as presented in the application process by Ms. Ortiz. Those in favor? Unanimous? Okay. Is that, are there any other items within the proposed contract?
Mayor, there was also a term, the term of the contract that we left up to the council, or we did not put a proposal in there. So I didn't know if that was something that council had discussed.
This
Oh,
would be
yeah.
this would be a yearly contract.
Well, we can make it, you can make it less than 8 if you wanted to start with. You can do, but is there a termination clause in there?
Well, either party has a right.
Oh, yeah, within 30
Yes,
days, yeah,
yes.
okay, yeah. What?
Three-month period?
We
Oh,
don't want to tack
well,
this 3 months
no,
out.
you don't want to tack
I'd
this
make a
out,
motion
yeah.
that we make it for a year, and at that time, it is renewable month to month thereafter unless it's terminated. So I'd rather than have to
Okay,
revisit
you-
this 3 months down the road.
Then your recommendation is
I recommend we do a year.
to make it a year, and then it can be
The contract
renegotiated
is stipulated to
Yeah.
renew month to month.
month to month.
Why wouldn't we make the contract run during the same time frame as the mayor's term in office? And then that way the contract, if a new mayor came in, then the new mayor could say, well, I want to terminate one and go with another, or...
I think we should unanimous vote.
Oh, sure, you would, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it would be a suggested thing, but make this run until, the November of 16.
16.
That's fine.
Okay. You'll amend that to the members, I'll second it then.
Okay, Mr. Tremblay has a motion to make the length of the term of the contract with Ms. Ortiz for the length of term that the mayor is sitting, and if otherwise, it can be also a month-to-month contract after that period. Mr. Gay has seconded that motion.
And Mayor, just for the clarification for the motion, the contract would be with Kasan and Ortiz, not me personally.
Okay.
So just-
No, yes.
Okay, Kasana and Ortiz, yeah, okay. Okay,
Yeah, that makes sense.
okay, so that was a modification too, and,
So it's a period of 18 months.
Yeah, just about 18 months, exactly.
yeah,
For a period of 18 months.
With,
period of 18 months. You want to make an amendment to your motion?
Right, okay, I'll amend that motion that we accept the contract with the acceptance of the length of the contract should be for 18 months. Effective on this date, May 14th.
Okay, and that's, if I could interject, that's with the law firm of Kasan and Ortiz. Okay, Mr. Tremblay has made a motion that the contract be accepted for the term of 18 months with the law firm of Kasan and Ortiz. Is there any other discussion? Mr. Gay seconded that motion. All those in favor? Unanimous? That piece of business taken care of. Okay, we now have another we have an ordinance, and we'll have to put a number on this, 2015 dash, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas, retaining Kasan and Ortiz PC to provide legal services as a municipal attorney. That's open and closed parent, city attorney. And you want me to read it? It's lengthy.
It
Okay.
looks
Huh?
fine the way it is.
Looks fine the way it is. You don't need to read it. It's going to be a public document anyway. But
A motion to accept the ordinance.
you say it again, please.
A motion to accept the ordinance.
Okay. Mr. Ortiz has made a motion to accept the ordinance.
Ortega.
That's right. Ortega. Mr. Ortega, thank you, Joel, to accept the ordinance. We have a second.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay, Mr. Gay, second. All those in favor? Unanimous? Okay, the ordinance has been accepted, and now at this time with we will now make this official that Ms. Ortiz will become the attorney for the city of Sandy Oaks. I
I, Cassandra Ortiz,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I have not directly or indirectly paid, offered, promised to pay, contributed, or promised to contribute any money or thing of value, or promised any public office or employment as a reward to secure my appointment
that I am not,
or
you may have to repeat that, or could you break up?
Oh, you want to do it in bits?
Yes, please.
Okay. I was going to let you just say I do.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Then I was like,
Okay, you want to do it that way, or you want to?
oh, yeah, then I'm sorry. I didn't
Okay,
realize.
appointment confirmed thereof, so help me God.
I do.
Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now, this is the most important one, the oath of office. Okay? And this is in the name and by authority of the state of Texas, the oath of office. I
I, Cassandra Ortiz,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office of city attorney
the duties of the office of City Attorney
of the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas,
of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and the level of the laws of the United States,
the Constitution and the laws of the United States.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a chore. And I thank you all for your patience, and we'll sign all of these. Let me give them to the city clerk. I guess we can start filling those out. Okay. The next item on the agenda is citizens to be heard. We have a list of 2 people to be heard, which indicates each is going to have 3 minutes. I also have a person who come in, and I'll introduce him later. He wants to speak for 3 minutes after the citizens of the community have their option. Ms. Catherine Randall.
Yes. As a lot of you know, DJ Gillespie and I hosted a community meeting here just recently. And because we put up signs and contacted people through a little bit of social media, we had an attendance of more than 50 people. I think it's really, really important that our city council also starts thinking in terms of seriously putting up signs. Not everybody has access to the internet. Not everybody has access to the newspaper. And posting a notice on the fence or here on the door isn't getting the kind of response that we need to involve our entire community in what we're doing here. So I've got a suggestion, and I'd like to ask all of you to really take it seriously. We've got 2 signs up at the very front of our development up here that really need to be removed. And I'm referring to those signs that say, any trucks over 1 ton prohibited. Because all trucks, every truck is over 1 ton. So keeping that sign up there is just not very professional. So that needs to be taken down. Why not use those poles to post something permanent? city council meeting second Thursday of the month. Or, something. But let's get folks interested. And the first thing to do to get people interested is to let them know what's happening. That was it.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Ms. Rendall, I think we can take that under advisement. Okay. Ms. B.J. Gillespie?
Yes, the first thing is, item 8 on today's agenda. I'm not sure exactly what that entails, but on the April 9th meeting, it was stated by someone in City Council that we need to have a public hearing before, or a public meeting before any action can be taken on that, and there's been no public meeting or no public hearing. The second item is April 19th, also the regular City Council meeting, agenda item number 11. This is a resolution amending 2014-2, is passed unanimously. Discuss and consider a resolution to include the budget report for the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas on the agenda for each monthly regularly scheduled city council meeting. The budget report will begin being placed on the agenda the month following the approval of this resolution, which would be today. The budget report will include the starting balance for the previous month, expenses for the previous month, expenses paid the previous month, received any monies this previous month, all deferred payments, including expenses of the previous month, and the ending balance for the previous month. It was passed unanimously. It's not on the agenda for tonight. That's all.
Okay. Well, Ms. Gillespie, I'll answer that. Okay. One was sent to me, and at the time that I was putting the agenda together, it was a very short one, by the way. There was only one transaction. In my haste to get this whole thing done, it was supposed to be item number 4. It was going to be right at the top of the agenda. I neglected to put it on there. Okay? And I bite the bullet. I bite the bullet for that. Okay? Because the city clerk done due diligence in getting it to me. Even though it was close to the time, I should have made time to put it on there. So that's my error. Okay? And I will, as a matter of fact, today is the day we got a statement from the bank, the very first statement from the bank. So it will be done properly in the future.
Thank you.
And we thank you for your diligence in bringing that to our attention. So at this time, I have a guest. I was tasked last regular board meeting, to find an engineering firm to give us some insight into the sprinkler systems that might or might not be required in a proposed apartment complex in the city. And I went to the the engineering firm of Klotz. They also do work for Castle Hills and so forth. They are very familiar with the sprinkler system problem if you do any kind of work for Castle Hills. I'd like to bring Louis, let him come up and have the 3 minutes. If you'll properly introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, my name is Luis Cuella. I work for an engineering firm called Klotz Associates, and we primarily specialize in transportation work and municipal work. As the mayor mentioned, I'm one of the city engineers for the city of Castle Hills, and we represent other cities. We do work for the city of San Antonio, Bexar County, city of Leon Valley, and other small cities. So the mayor and I met at one of the Castle Hills meetings, and we stayed in touch a little bit. And the mayor asked me to look at, in particular, this multifamily residential development that is being proposed, in particular as it pertains to sprinkler systems. So we have a part of our firm, we have a group that does a lot of land development that looks at these type of developments. So we prepared a one-letter report. Mayor, do you have copies of that? I brought a few extra that I can pass out.
No, it's still in my computer. I didn't bring them because it wasn't on the agenda.
So should I not pass these out, or?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, well, I'll just pass it.
It's all just part of
Oh, you
it.
have one, okay.
Yeah, it's on the computer.
Okay, here you go. And I have a couple extra copies here. Yeah, so generally from an engineering perspective, we looked at the International Fire Code, which is what governs. And in terms of there's no specific requirement for an automatic sprinkler system, but in our experience of looking at these sort of developments, they always have. And what we suspect is that they're always there because of the fire flow requirements. It's always difficult to meet fire flow requirements with the International Fire Code or the IFC. So typically, multifamily residential units will put an automatic sprinkler system, and that reduces their required fire flow by 50%. So because of that, that's always something that we see. Now, so in terms of the IFC, there's no specific requirement other than the fire flow requirements that would need to be met if the contractor chooses not to put an automatic sprinkler system. One thing I do want to point out is that the plans that we did receive were really not a typical set of multifamily residential plans that are typically prepared by an architect, a licensed architect, and normally has what we call MEP plans, or mechanical, electrical, and plumbing plans. Those weren't included. So one of the things that we suggest is that if those plans be potentially reviewed by either a licensed architect and an MEP firm to make sure that all applicable codes from that standpoint are reviewed. So in summary, what we looked at again is the IFC requirements, and in all experience that we've had in these type of developments, we've seen an automatic sprinkler system.
Okay, sir.
And if I could, one question.
Yes, sir.
You're looking at IFC from 2006. What are you looking at? Because most of the cities are still using 2006.
I'm not sure which one we looked at, but I think it should be the latest.
And do you know what the city of San Antonio's requirement is as far as residentials? Because I heard that they require sprinkler systems in all their buildings now, especially since this last
With everything that happened in Castle
with
Hills.
the elderly folks, right? So do you know what the city of San
I
Antonio's
don't.
requirement is?
No, I don't, but like I said, from all the stuff that we see, they always include it. Now, you weren't in the city of San Antonio, so we limited our, but yeah, that's a very, very, very
I
valid
mean, I would
point.
like to pattern after what
Yes, sir.
the city of San Antonio is doing. My other question is then, I think we were looking for a recommendation based on the plans that were submitted. So you're telling us the plans that were submitted, you recommend no approval. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the plans that were submitted were not really architectural plans. They were basically a sketch of, and that's not a typical, in our experience, we typically don't see something to that degree of simplicity for this type of development. Now, there's nothing within what we saw that would require something otherwise here in the city of San Diego, but it's not a typical set of development plans that we would
So I
normally
think
look at.
we're looking for a recommendation. recommendation. I think we're looking to limit the liability of the city should we approve those plans.
Yeah.
That's the reason that we went for it. And that's for engineers' expert advice.
The,
So I mean, not to put you on the spot.
Yes, sir.
That's basically what we're looking for.
Right.
Is a recommendation based on the plans that were submitted to us.
Well, what we recommend here, well, what we laid out is what the IFC code indicates. And there simply wasn't enough information on those plans for us to do that.
Okay, great. That's good enough for me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
the IFC plans that are there, the way you're presenting it, I take it that if the contractor or the builder puts enough fire breaks in between the units, then the sprinkler system is not
So-
a necessary item?
Well, in terms of purely from an IFC standpoint, there is a high flow in the water system required to not have to put a sprinkler. And it's typically super difficult to achieve. So because of that, most engineers for developers say, hey man, let's just put this automatic sprinkler system and we don't have to meet this crazy fire flow requirement. So you can reduce it by 50% if you have this automatic sprinkler system.
Okay,
So
I got
I
you.
think because of that, and we were trying to, and I don't do development work, I do more municipal, city engineer type work. So I chose, and that's why there's a different gentleman that did this review for me. But his experience is he always sees having an automatic sprinkler system. But these plants were so, for lack of a better term, simplistic and not very comprehensive. We were limited into what we could review.
That's good, thank you.
The minimum fire flow, could we need that information, say, for the ESP doing a flow test on the hydrant, the nearest hydrant?
That's what the developer would typically do, or the engineer would, if, let's say I was, and I don't do development, but if I was, then I would have to get a fire flow, exactly what you said, at the nearest hydrant and see, hey, am I meeting the IFC requirements for these type of.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Cuellar. Come here.
Yes, I was inquiring, how many unit multifamily dwelling is being proposed?
8.
Just an 8-unit? Okay.
Okay. Item number 5, unfinished business. Item 16 from the April 9th agenda, discuss and consider a proposal from the WPPOA, Waterwood Park Property Owners Association, on the transfer of all the assets of the WPPOA to the city of Sandy Oaks, Texas. At this time, because this has gotten to the point where it is a conflict of interest, I being on the board of the WPPOA and being the mayor of the city, again, as I did before, I will recuse myself from this item. I'll leave the room, and the Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Ernest Gay, will conduct the meeting until it's time for item number 6. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I would ask that if you could, though, please keep yourself available in the event that we do need to ask you any questions on this
Okay.
in the special session here.
Okay.
On item number 5, on unfinished business, the city council will now convene into an executive session pursuant to 551.071 of the governmental code for consultation with the attorneys.
I'd also motion that Cheryl.
Okay, okay. Another thing also, since this is a special meeting, thank you very much, you understand. Yours also, please just turn off the recording devices.
Yeah,
Got it.
figured that.
I didn't give you all my contact
Oh, Yeah, I got-
information.
Yes.
My,
Is this yours?
I got-
Oh, yes,
yes.
thank you.
My cell phone's
We got
on there,
hers,
too.
but she didn't give
Yeah, I
us
was
one.
like-
I felt left out.
I always
Oh, you're
forget
gonna
mine.
get them, okay.
golly, these
And
are,
when I got yours, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to pick it apart, there's 2 of them stuck together, but no, they're not.
no, they're thick.
We thought there were 2 of them stuck together there, but that's not the case.
You sit on these, and it's thick.
And I did very hurriedly make you a little plaque, just like all the rest of us here.
You need to make me one, please.
Oh, you don't have one, Miss Rob?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I will make you one.
Oh, I thought you had one.
I'm waiting for this person.
Okay. It is now 7:56 PM. The city council for the city of Sandy Oaks is now back in session. Do we have a motion?
Yes. I make a motion to direct the city attorney to request a list identifying all assets the WPPOA has in its possession and provide an environmental study on the WPPOA park area.
Second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Tomasini, a second by Mr. Ortega. Is there any discussion? All of those in favor? All right, the vote is unanimous. We will pass that on to the city attorney and have that taken care of, and we will take it up on the next council meeting. Thank you. Mr. Mayor, I am going to turn this back over to you now, sir.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was item 5. I kind of enjoyed the discussion out there. Okay, that was unfinished business. Item number 6.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, on your item number 6 right there, I'm going to make a motion that we delete or just table that one because it will be included in number 5 above.
Was that for something just in general around the city, or was it specifically for the park area here that you just?
This was an item for, we have a lot of hazmat coming into this community on trucks.
Oh,
and I do know that there's a number of drivers coming in here that fold those shields that they got with the numbers and stuff on it. They just flop them over so nobody knows what's in their vehicles. And that cannot happen in this community. There's no way, we have no capability of handling a hazmat situation, and as soon as we identify hazmat coming in and who's bringing it in, they're going to have to find an alternate place to park their trucks. I don't think any citizen out here should be exposed to that. As a matter of fact, a half-full tanker truck coming in here with fuel in it is worse than a full one because it's half full of fumes. And if the fumes explode, you've got one mess on your hands. And there's so many different chemicals being brought into this area now with the oil boom. Nothing against the oil boom, I love it.
Just to make you legal there, Mr. Mayor, I'll rescind my tabling.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay, that's right, because as soon as you say table,
You're not supposed to
there's
talk.
no discussion. Huh? So, yeah.
I'll rescind the
Okay.
table. We'll listen
But
to
it
your, what you're wanting to do on the,
Well, that's primarily what I want to do. I want to know what's coming into this community. I want to know if it is hazardous materials, and if it is hazardous materials, they can't bring it in. That is what I'm after.
I have been in contact with one other councilman here, and I've asked that on the next agenda, we are going to give you an agenda item that will deal with hazmat coming through our city to prohibit it completely.
Okay.
And in form of an ordinance, if that would satisfy your intent on what you're trying to get done here.
Yes, it will, and let's get on with your table then.
Okay, well, I'll motion that we table this one. Do we have, you're going to have a second before we
Yes.
table it.
I'll second motion to table, not for that reason.
Okay, there's,
No discussion, just take a vote.
No discussion, discussion ceases. We ignored that a little bit. Discussion ceases on request to table an item. The item number 6, Mr. Tremblay, that was by Mr. Gay. Mr. Tremblay seconded that. Show of hands for those in favor of table. Unanimous. The item is tabled. It'll be tabled to next.
This table is gone. Tabling means it's done.
No, you can table for a period of time.
Okay. Well, I assure you, you're going to get something in.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Take my word for it. I'm going to have
I
you
know
something.
you've already said that, so that's great. Okay. Item number 7, discuss and consider approving exemptions to property taxes to include military disabilities over 65, homestead exemptions, etc. This information must be in by the 1st of June of this year. This is my item. We had this on the agenda last month, and in a meeting I had with Mr. Udeste, Albert Udeste, and his chief of staff in the tax assessor collector office. They did recommend, because we're a new city and we have not established any guidelines or anything as to what our needs are going to be, that if we do have exemptions, that we deal with just 3 for the beginning. They don't have to be huge, but he said we should consider 3. And he said, of course, one of them, everybody knows, is the military disability exemption is mandatory. You can't deny them that. Okay. And then over 65 and homestead exemption are 2 to really consider, and any others down the line, if you think we can afford them. My personal feeling is that we should go with at least 3. So.
If, on this paper I handed out to everybody here today, if you look at the exemptions in there, of course, homestead, residential homestead is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The second one that is listed on there is age 65 or older or disabled persons. This is just regular disabled, not military disabled. And it goes on in that section to explain that you get either or. You do not get both of those. If you're disabled, you can have a disability. If you turn 65 and you have that disability, at that point you have an option to take either the disability or the over 65. You can take whichever one you want. I would like to see that incorporated in ours, that we would at least keep it as an over 65 or disabled persons, and then of course do the military disability that we have to do.
For everybody's information, I sent from the appraiser's office that 13-page thing, and I did put a statement at the beginning of that email. Just look at the last number on page 1. That's what the folks at the appraiser's office told me, and that initially last year when we were dealing with these items, we were dealing with approximately a value of the city real properties of about $55 to $60 million. It turns out this year, folks, that it's $94.5 million is the appraised value of the city with Sandy Oaks. So last year, Mr. Tremblay recognized that right away. It was brought up that it might be there, and it's an item that we can keep in the back of our heads when we make decisions on what we want to do.
Now, on these exemptions here today, let's say we agree on a homestead exemption, do we agree on an amount?
Yes.
Also at the same time?
I would say a percentage. Yeah.
Well, I thought it had to be a dollar amount.
You can, if I'm not mistaken, you
School districts are
can,
required 15,000, any taxing unit, county, school districts, special districts. Okay, an exemption of up to 20% of the appraised value, but not less than $5,000. And the county can offer a 3,000 exemption. Okay, so you're right on the percent, it can be a percentage.
I think it has to be a percentage. I don't think you can do a dollar amount for homestead or anything like that.
Has to be a minimum.
Yeah, but that percentage has to be a minimum of $5,000, according to what the Comptroller of Public Accounts has in their brochure.
that is correct.
Ones that are common to homestead.
I think.
So 65 of the veterans. So we should probably look at.
Yeah, I would think that, what kind of a,
5,000 on homestead.
just give a straight 5,000?
That would be the minimum. You gotta understand, a lot of properties out here, worth $20,000, $25,000. So you're giving
Well, yeah, but those that are worth 25,000, you're talking
You
about
say something like
lots that people aren't living on, they won't get a homestead exemption on those anyway.
sharing some properties there.
Yeah, and many of these that you're looking at like that are mobiles that have not been declared real property yet, and they don't have the land value mixed in with them. So they're only getting that on one
Yeah, the other cities
of their,
were. I'm trying to
yeah.
remember.
That's why some of those are coming in so low. But it's like you say, a minimum of 5,000. Legal advice on that is, can we just set a $5,000 homestead exemption?
No, I think a percentage
Has to
would
be.
be.
It has to be a percentage, and if the percentage doesn't equal 5,000, the tax assessor is automatically going to bump it to that? Is that what happens?
Now let me contact the tax assessor's office and see what they do if it doesn't meet that minimum requirement of the percentage.
Because we do have a lot of poor properties out here.
Yeah, but I'm not certain what the percent, or what it would be if that percentage doesn't meet that amount.
Yeah. You know, because in some cases, a $5,000 might be 25% of somebody's evaluation.
Yeah.
I mean, it just says that any taxing unit, a city, county, or school district can offer a separate exemption up to 20% of the appraised value, but not less than 5,000.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't have to be a percentage, it can be an automatic amount.
It could be automatic
Oh, yeah.
5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Mr. Uresti pointed out to me.
Here's homestead exemption of 5,000.
When I talked to the lady, she said it had to be a percentage if you do a homestead. That's what she told
It
me.
has to be a percentage.
I mean, if she's correct, that's what she told me.
Um,
And she said that some of the cities word it a particular way that everybody, how it's worded, how they do it. She said that they word it to everybody gets it at 5,000.
But by the way this is reading here, it'll automatically be 5,000 even if the percentage, let's say we went with a 10%, and somebody's property is only worth 45,000, well that would only be a $4,500.
Yeah.
They would automatically bump it to the 5,000 exemption somehow in there. It would have to be.
Yeah, before making any type of decision, I guess we should confirm with the tax assessor's office and,
one
or the
June
comptroller.
deadline.
We have a
what-
June 1st deadline to do
Okay.
this. We have to make one. Yes, sir.
I'm actually familiar with homestead exemptions. It is correct that it does have to be a percentage, and if it falls below the $5,000, they do raise it to the $5,000 minimum.
That's what I thought, okay. The way this reads, that's what I figured it did. In light of that, I'll make a motion that we adopt a 10% homestead exemption.
Place it safe.
Pardon?
Place it safe. 10%, yeah.
10%, yeah. And that, you know, there's a lot of the properties out here that are in that $50,000 to $75,000 range. There's quite a few that are more than that, of course, but yeah, 10%, I think will keep it at a reasonable level where we're not giving too much back. We're not taking too much away from ourselves.
It'd be probably better if you just did 1% and then it goes up to the 5,000 automatically. Because if you do 10%, that might end up being more of an exemption for somebody else.
No, it can't.
It won't.
If you have a $30,000 property, a 10% would be $3,000, and they would bump it to 5. If you have a $150,000 house, well, then you're going to bump you a $15,000 exemption at 10%. You know, I'm trying to keep it, my idea is to keep it fair. Just because somebody has a little nicer place doesn't mean that they shouldn't get the full value of a percentage. Anyway, that was my motion, 10%.
I agree. Second motion. You making a motion?
I'm making a motion, 10%.
So we're talking about 10%, and then if it falls below the 5,000, then it automatically.
It automatically bumps up, yeah. Yeah, that's what
Okay,
it is.
that's one item.
That's one, and we still need to tackle two more. So that's,
We need to
that's
tackle.
one.
TAC at least, you got to deal with the military.
All right, so that was a motion on the homestead. Are we going to vote on it? Mr. Mayor?
Do each one of these have to be a separate ordinance that you give to them, or are all of them included in one ordinance?
All to be included in one.
Okay, well, let's pass them one at a time. We pass the homestead, let's vote on it. And then we'll go on the second.
Okay. I agree, we should, let's do them one at a time, make them each a separate ordinance, that way they can be dealt with
We can put them all
separately.
in the same ordinance. We just need to,
Okay.
can't agree on.
You can put them on.
three altogether.
Oh, I see what you're saying, agreeing on all three is gonna be more difficult,
So
yeah,
let's do
okay.
the homestead at 10%. Vote on that.
Okay. Falls in your court, Mr.
Alderman
Mayor.
Gay made the motion, I seconded it.
Okay, there's been a motion made by Mr. Gay that we assess a 10%, right?
10% residential homestead exemption.
10% residential homestead exemption. Any discussion? If no discussion, all those in favor? That was also seconded by Mr. Tremblay, by the way. We have now the military disability.
That one's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, but some people have 100% disability. Others, I don't know how much, I get 30%
Yeah.
military.
Right, and whatever your
disability.
percentage is what you get off of your
Yeah.
deal, and that's written in the law. Yeah. A motion that we accept the military, the veterans disability exemption.
A second.
Mr. Gay made a motion that we accept the military.
It's the veterans,
The veterans
disability exemption.
Disability exemption.
It's called a disabled veterans exemption. is the name of it.
And that was seconded by Mr. Ortega. No further discussion. All those in favor? Unanimous. Okay. Now, do we want to do one more? Put a third one in there? Or we can leave it at 2?
I think that the over 65 is very important.
Yes?
Me too.
Oh, okay. But I would also like to include in that it be over 65 or disabled persons. And because you're only going to get one of those anyway. And I don't think that there's a whole lot in this community that it's going to affect us financially to have a few of the disabled persons have a little bit of an exemption in there. Is this one also by percentage?
How would we,
So 3,000.
It's 3,000. School districts are 10,000. Homestead order, any taxing unit, including the city, school district, special districts, can operate separate to the exemption of 3,000. I say that.
how do we determine the disability of certain folks?
That is listed in here.
Okay.
Yeah, that is. It has to be something. Basically, you have to be getting a Social Security disability or a pension disability from someone.
Okay. The Bear Appraisal District.
Yeah, the Bear Appraisal District has very staunch requirements that you have to give them paperwork on
Okay.
before they will give it to you. Because it not only goes just for us, it goes pretty much broad
And
spectrum.
what is the
$3,000.
3,000? Fine, that's,
Yeah, I'll make that in a motion that we accept the age 65 or older or disability exemptions in the amount of $3,000.
okay. Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Gay to accept the over 65
For the person-
and
No,
or.
Not and or.
Not and or.
Or, yeah.
Or. You can't get both.
You can't get both.
To a $3,000 exemption.
Yeah, it's listed as an age 65 or older or disabled exemption.
Or disabled exemption, okay.
That's how it's listed.
And,
Yeah,
okay,
second. I second that.
okay, Mr. Tremblay seconds that motion. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous? Okay, so what's the total on that?
You will have
Depending on the value of the property.
probably $8,000 for five, a minimum of 5 on the homestead, 3,000 on the
Over
disabled,
65
65 or disabled. That would give you an $8,000 deduction, and then the veterans, you have no idea what that was going to be on any particular individual.
Right.
That's a sliding scale.
Right.
They're not huge deductions, but we are giving something,
And,
which I think is important.
well, we'll know better in the future.
Yes, we will.
Okay, so with that done, we'll move on to number 8, and understanding that report on the effort to find a company for citywide trash collection, understanding that we're just in the process of determining RFPs, and we...
What I have done on that one is I've got one written up at the house, and I haven't sent it out yet, but I've written up an RFP asking these companies, things like, are you going to provide a container for us? How often are you going to pick it up? Are you going to offer us anything in line of brush collection, solid waste, like your furniture, that kind of stuff? Are we going to have a hazmat day? What are the things, and do you have a franchise agreement? Is there anything coming back to the city of Sandy Oaks? And then what will you charge everybody for having an exclusive contract with the city of Sandy Oaks? By no means is this something that we're pushing on everybody. Once I get these proposals back from the companies, we will then have an open workshop here, invite the public in, and let you see what they're offering. I think we should let the citizens make the determination as to whether or not they want to go with individual companies or whether you want to let 5 or 6 companies run their trucks through here weekly. Because right now we have about 5 that are doing it plus dumpsters.
We're gonna include recycle.
Yes, recycle, I'm sorry, yeah, very good. Yes, recycle is one of the things that I asked for them to include in there. Are they going to include some
Nobody
recycle?
does it out here.
And if they do recycle, like the city of San Antonio, they make a tremendous amount of money on their recycling because they get a portion of that back. Is there some of that recycling coming back to us? Many people don't realize it, but if you walk down the streets in San Antonio and you lift up a recycle bin and you start taking stuff out of it, you've committed theft. The city of San Antonio wants that stuff because they make money off of it. That is also something that might, with nearly 4,000 people out here, we may have a lot of recyclable stuff that might bring us a few dollars back
Not if
into.
we do it on our own, but if we get somebody to
Well,
offer it, help.
When we do it on our own, there's a lot of work involved
That's
getting it to
what
where it goes. Yes.
That's why I wanted to go.
But yes, I have got that up. Sorry I didn't get it out. I had intended to get it out. But like everybody else around here, I've got family that gets sick and I've got things that happen and I'm remodeling a house and I kind of dropped the ball on it. That's the bottom line. I didn't get it out. I will do it before the next meeting, I promise you.
If I could ask the attorneys if they come across, if they've done any of this, with any of the other cities that they're representing, have you gone out and asked for proposals for trash collection?
Not specific to the trash collection, I haven't.
No, I mean, we reviewed RFPs before and RFQs, but as far as specific to city collection, trash collection, no.
But I'm
But
sure,
if- we'd be happy to look at it.
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot out
Okay,
there.
when I get the RFP, is there a website on here where I can shoot that to you?
You can email it.
There's
to
an
me.
email, just maybe very
Oh,
small.
yes, I see it. I see it on there now. Okay. I will send you a copy of it. Before I send it out to everybody. That would be a good idea, right? Before I send it to everyone.
Why don't you have a representative from each trash company to come out here and make a little conversation, because
If we could run something like that to where we would have them on a rotating basis and not all here at the same time,
right,
where they would hear each other's proposals, yeah, I don't know what the logistics in that would be, but, or how we would get everybody signed up. I think just their written proposals to us is what we would have to go on to start with. If we could maybe narrow it down to a couple of them, then maybe we could invite those in.
two or three of them.
Yeah.
Got it down.
Yeah. Let's see what they propose first, and if we get something back that is solid and good, then by all means, I say, yeah, let's bring them in, and we can stagger their times to where they're not here together. We don't.
No fights.
Yeah, we don't want any fights. Yeah, but like I say, I dropped the ball on that one, and I didn't get it out, and I will work on it after I get my roof fixed.
You got leaks?
I got a leak, and I got a little pitted hail damage on a 1-year-old roof out there, and I'm hoping they fix it. Okay, that's it, sir. That's what I've got on it.
Okay, thank you very much. It's progressing. It's farther than we've been before on this. We tried it once before, but there's always going to be some folks who are going to be against it for one reason or another. But if it comes in with the right price and the company is going to be offering what we're requesting, I think most people will.
Well, the idea is to try to have us
agree
save
that it's a
some
good
money.
one. Yes.
Instead of having 5 companies all charging the same, different rates, see if one company will lower that rate for everybody. I know in other areas, I know Seguin for one, they have one company that does theirs. Floresville also does, one company. And they don't do it themselves, they contract it out.
Okay. Item number 9 on the agenda, the reason this is here. This is for the approval of the minutes of April 9th and April 27th. And the reason that this is here is because our city clerk took a well-deserved vacation and visited some of their kids up in Rhode Island that are being deployed. And when they get back, then there was a lot of things staring her in the face. So I waited till the very, very end before I put this in here. And I'm requesting the approval of the minutes of April 9th, 2015, regular meeting of the City Council, and April 27th, 2015, special meeting. You can consider them one at a time because it's not a consensus agenda at this point, or consider them both and approve them.
I'll make a motion that we accept the special council meeting, April 27th, 2015. That one I've read all the way through, that looks all right.
Okay. Mr. Gay has made a motion to accept the minutes of the 27th.
I second that.
Mr. Ortega seconds that motion. Anybody have any further discussion on the April 27th minutes? If no discussion, all those in favor? Unanimous. April 9th, is there any problem with the April 9th minutes? If not, do I hear a motion to accept the April 9th minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Tomasini has moved to accept the April 9th minutes.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Mr. Gay seconds that motion. Any discussion? If there's no discussion, all those in favor? Unanimous. Item number 10, request a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Gay made a motion to adjourn. Any second?
Somebody seconded it.
Yes.
This
Okay,
meeting
Ortega.
is now closed.